misery. Mountain bike trails will be closed for days. Do you think I'm gonna sink if I just pull up here in the grass or not?
It's a busy day here at the job site. I got stuck already trying to pull in.
Did you not have four-wheel drive?
No, I did, but I didn't think I would need it, but I did. I had to use four-wheel drive to get in here.
I put it in four-wheel drive before I even...
And I just... Oh, did you? Oh, that's smart.
Boom.
I had just pressure washed my truck this morning too in the rain because I was like, man, my truck's dirty. But anyway, they're shutting the power off right now. I think they're gonna be able to slide up out of your way, but you got to get out of the way, and I got to move my truck because the gravel truck is coming in just a second.
He's definitely gonna get stuck.
Well, I mean, we're willing to take a risk at it, I guess, you know.
So this morning we're getting going on the task of vaulting the ceiling, meaning we're going to get rid of some of these rafter ties, but some have to stay because that is not a load-bearing ridge, it's a 1x4. And with that type of structural setup, you have to have rafter ties so that there's no weight being put on the ridge. If there was weight put on the ridge, what would happen is likely it would go down and this wall or that wall would get pushed way out and the building could collapse. So we're going to try to do this in a way that retains the structure but gives a nice open feel in here.
I am checking the condition of the collar ties that I want to keep, and I'm like even sighting to see if they're side bowed and see which one I could grab that I'm going to pull out that has an opposing side bow so that when we slap them together we actually get a straight looking one. I think that is possible given the number of boards we have to pick from and varying degrees of curve in every direction. I don't even want to pull the nails out of these yet until I'm pulling the nails out of the ones I want to save, because I think half of these might not be usable and we have a stack of other ones to choose from. The most important thing though right now is that I actually select the layout and I know that the spacing is going to look good, because once we start I don't want to have to like do half the room and then realize I goofed up and have to move them all. So we've got a keeper, skip one, this one's going to be a keeper but there's nothing there, skip, keep.
Okay.
That's good.
You want to start there?
That one is not damaged, so good, yeah.
We've got a great example here of why crowning of the material is so important when you're doing ceiling surfaces or wall surfaces. Right here we have a board crowned down, the far one, and a board crowned up right next to each other. And you can see that the difference is like, what, 2 inches right here?
I would
probably
call
different.
It barely noticeable.
So we're gonna have to fix that since they're gonna be fixed together. We got a trick for that, we'll try. Jono's got this scrap board screwed on with a giant GRK pan-headed screw, like 5 inches long, just like that one. And now he's gonna run this other screw in onto the lower board on the same piece of strap, and hopefully it's gonna pull it up. Let her rip.
He can labor on it.
We've got this like 90% flush. The rest of the way I'm just gonna try it with this board, and then we're gonna screw it. We've got this opened up now and it looks way cleaner and more open here, which is what we were shooting for. And next we have to fur down every one of these rafters though, because 3.5 inch depth is not enough depth for an R38 even on a closed cell. So I think we're gonna use some hurricane screws and just edge to edge on the bottom of all those with another 2x4. And we're gonna rip this wall out and put a header in. One consideration with us taking out this wall and then adding the header in is that we're gonna shift the load from pretty even across here to 2 points, basically there and right behind you, Jamie, or right there.
Yeah, point load. And I haven't been in the crawl space yet. I don't know if you have.
Oh, I've been trying to stay out of there.
Yeah, me too. Well, we're gonna have to paper, rock, scissors or something because somebody has to go down there and see if we can transfer this load through the foundation or whether it's just out in the middle of a span or something on a joist.
And if it is, we're gonna have to add some sort of a post under the floor right there.
You're gonna
a footing.
You're gonna have to add something. In general, for like as old as this thing is, the floor feels relatively solid.
Really solid.
There's not any huge dips or sags in it, so I've got my fingers crossed that maybe it's gonna be okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and temporarily support all these rafter ends with some studs now so that we can remove this. And instead of building a wall here, I'm just gonna screw to the side with a bunch of screws on each one of these, because this is only gonna be here a couple hours. There's no snow load at this time, so I think this is gonna be all good. And then we'll pull these out once the new header is put in. You wanna go and tack that to the floor, sort of plumb with some toe screws. We are not reusing this wood floor, by the way. Man, this thing had like 2 nails in it. Go ahead and get rid of that. This section right here that was against the chimney is shot, and for that reason we're gonna take out this double top plate and put the girder all the way up. Otherwise we could have just gone below that.
When I cut that loose, this just shifted left to right.
Okay,
Should we put a board across here to keep them?
it's not a bad idea. How much did it shift? Oh, just like 1/8 or something. That's fine.
Hey.
As long as it didn't drop. You want to put a leg under that one too?
I don't know, that's what I was just thinking.
Maybe we should.
Yeah.
We're almost there with the wall removal. We just have to get this chunk taken off to this surface so our beam can slot in and have 3.5 inches of bearing coming up there. We've got that done on this side, I think. You got it?
Yep.
So the beam will slot in. We'll have 3.5 inches of bearing coming up this way. This is gonna be awesome. Look how much more open this is.
No, it looks cool.
Another thing we're gonna have to do here is fur out this gable end to the full 3.5 thickness, flush right here. For 2 reasons. One, the drywall or whatever wall surface is gonna run all the way up now instead of stopping here. And secondly, we need that insulation depth of 3.5 inch kind of minimum. That's only 1.5 inches because before that was outside of the heated envelope. That was just like an attic space.
I think you've been in too many BS and beers. Envelope. Since when do you use the word envelope, bro? Come on.
We decided it's gonna be easier to just fur out by adding 1/2 inch of sheathing than another 1.5 inch piece instead of trying to notch around all this existing framing with studs that way. We're getting this first ply of the girder put up, but it's not pushing all the way tight because these rafters are up and down a little. So Jono's cut a board just over length here. He's gonna beat it in, and that's gonna push this up tight where it needs to go so we can tack it.
Yeah, there it is, more.
Hey, grab that
Somebody get a sledgehammer.
Dude, we got it, the large bone daddy right here.
Tap it in.
Arlo would be proud. You ready?
Tap
Clear?
it in.
Fingers?
Yes, go. Oh, keep going. Keep going. It's hitting the spot.
Oh, Ray, see if you can tip that in.
Top at the very top. All right.
1, 2, 3. There it is.
Oh,
Yes.
that's called.
All right. We're going to take a quick break from work to tell you about today's video sponsor, Opera, and their updated web browser, and get a nail out of my tire so I can get down the road. If you're like me, you probably spend half the time that you're browsing on the internet looking through all the tabs that are open, trying to find what you're looking for or what you were looking at a minute ago so that you can click back and forth and get some work accomplished. And Opera has a great solution for this stressful problem with their concept of tabfulness. They've created the perfect stress-free browser with super smart features that save me a lot of stress when I'm online. With their new tab islands, Opera has reimagined tab functionality to give you more space and focused browsing. Tabs can easily be arranged into separate groups or islands, which can be collapsed or expanded. And when you open a new tab at the top of your browser, it begins a new group, and tabs open within the group stay connected so that related tabs can be found easily. You can also drag and drop tabs between islands. I found that making some islands like work and relax and shop are a great way to separate those different things so that when you're surfing online, you can find what you're looking for really quickly and easily. Opera also has a free or a pro VPN, messaging from your sidebar, and Aria, which is an AI chat that's also free. Jamie and I decided to test Aria out by typing in some pretty specific building code questions for this area, and Aria came back with the correct answers the first shot. Pretty amazing. So make sure to download Opera. It's free and you can discover stress-free browsing with Tabfulness. Thank you, Opera, for sponsoring our video. There's a link down in our video description. Let's get back to work. 83 and 7/16, Jamie.
83, 7/16.
So, yep. Well, that's good. That's a little taller than a door opening, so that's good.
All right, you got some more 3.5 TVs.
Move that wall! Woo! Got our girder in and supported, and it held. That's great news. Really great news. And it feels really awesome in here. It feels way bigger.
Edit that out.
Oh, did he?
He just crapped.
The power company is here disconnecting the power to this structure so that it can get gutted and the panel can get moved. And they showed me this that was inside the panel bin. There was a bunch of them. You know what that is?
I don't.
That's like a little boot that goes over the fin on the meter base, or
Right.
the meter that they stick in there. And the reason they put these on is that somebody didn't pay the power bill.
Wasn't me, man.
And that means that they put the meter thing back in with these on it so
Yeah.
you have no power.
That's right.
And there was like a dozen of them in there.
There was this house was a foreclosure when I bought it.
Oh.
There was a long history of
Okay.
things before that.
Okay.
So I would say that was during that time. So yeah.
I'm gonna pre-drill all of these through the edge because that's how we're gonna screw with these lags. And with pretty good chance we'd run it out the side if it wasn't pre-drilled, I think. Ah! Okay, see if she goes. Holy crap, dude! I went right into
it.
I went right into a knot.
Oh yeah, freaking Mutombo.
That was a basketball player, not a drill. There we go.
That little baby, get up in there.
Maybe I got this set on baby mode. I do. Let's see. Oh, I do have it on baby mode.
Is she gonna suck up?
Power.
What is that? Well, I decided to bring my big boy drill. Sorry, I don't know why my voice changed. Anyway, I've got this 1/2-inch drive flex, and I use it mostly in the shop for, changing my tires. But I welded this 5/16 driver into a 1/2-inch drive socket because you can't buy one,
Because it's not meant to drive little tiny screws.
But I'm telling you what, it'll do the job.
I can't. It's
Come
too
on,
big.
man.
No,
Too big.
It's hitting this. Get that.
Oh, you're crazy. Man, come on.
Jason put a 60-volt flex battery on his little 20-volt max. It says 20-volt max for a reason.
You go,
No, that's not what it means.
this is made for like a table saw or a chainsaw.
Yeah, but watch this.
Anyways, it's violent. Watch this thing.
Easy now.
It's scary.
Jeez.
I'm gonna laugh when that thing catches on fire, by the
Dude,
way.
why not go big all the time? Like, why ever go small?
gonna catch on fire.
It don't matter. I'll just steal one of yours.
something we're noticing as we're going along here with these extra rafters on the bottom is the amount of heel that's sticking off on some of these existing rafters. And this one caught my eye. It sticks off like 1.25 inches, whereas the next few down stick off 0. So we got a big stick up here to see what was flat, and that was a lot low. So we're gonna skip it, put this next one on, and then draw a straight line between those two and rip our furring strip down here so that it all planes out in the finish. Otherwise, that could have been like a major kind of thing in the ceiling surface.
I did mention that to Ray earlier, but I guess we didn't care.
Yeah, and I said everything that Eric just said that we should do. So
We've got our second one put in here, so we're gonna go and draw this line.
What is line?
What is line?
Wow, I'm getting a little wild with it here.
Okay,
There it is. Now I got a scrap right here with the cut.
look at you.
This would be the standard tail
Oh gosh,
coming down 5/8 below.
I got you.
And so what do you want to do? Are you saying you want to take off on the top of it 5/8 to 0?
I would big stick the top too to see.
Yeah, the top might be.
I mean, it looks normal.
It looks more normal. I don't know. The one next to it's flush with the little teeny ridge
And that
piece.
one's low.
That one's low. I think just take it off the whole thing. 5/8.
Now that we have the collar ties in, I've realized that we left Ben with a really difficult place to finish without a nailer on the side here. So I'm using a line across the bottom to establish this point, and then I've got my big level, I call it the big stick, pushed in tight against the bottom of the rafters, and then I'll pull this down until it just touches and screw it to the collar tie, and that'll give him an awesome place to put his drywall or boards or whatever he's going to attach to the ceiling.
Jamie's cutting a bunch of these little scabs to go across the top of the rafters where they connect. They have a really shallow angle cut. And as you're making those cuts, a lot of times you have to pull the guard back on the saw manually because it just won't go back at that angle.
It's in a bind.
It's in a bind. So you want to demonstrate how you have to pull it back?
Well, sure.
Normally.
You can either get your finger behind the little thing and move it there. That's a
Yep.
good way to do it. But your workpiece has to be like not moving for that to happen, or else you'll just here. Let me just show you.
Yeah.
You know, you'll just a lot of times you'll end up like, oh, this one is actually not moving. You'll end up chasing your workpiece across like that, right?
Yeah.
I do that all the time. Now, do you? Another alternative is to put your leg on it, right?
That's cool.
Get your Pilates on, then flip your guard, and then you're cutting right towards your leg.
Okay.
But
Worse and worse.
I devised a little technique here, so you can do it one-handed without any struggles. And what you got to do is just barely get the tip of the blade in there, and I'll describe it, and then I'll do it. And then as you're cutting, you raise the base of the saw up, and see how the guard will very easily kind of do itself there?
Yeah.
And then you plunge cut down into the middle of the board, and then finish your cut.
Okay.
It's kind of a three-piece deal.
Okay. Just like McDonald's.
Are you ready? Here goes.
Okay.
And hey,
Wow. That actually worked. I've never done that.
it was just as easy as it looked. Trust me.
I'm thinking we really have to think of a name for that move.
Yeah?
I've never seen anyone do that.
Call it the Ellis.
Ray's gonna try it.
It's like walking.
Gonna try it. Looks a little like it might be easier said than done, but I impressed myself with that one.
Beginner's luck. No, I think you got it, man. Even though I know that this is a lot of work coming into this job, I'm still amazed at how much effort and time it takes to even do this. You know what I mean? I mean,
It's at least as long as framing it new, maybe longer.
yeah, it's very possible. I mean, there's a lot of pieces of wood we're adding, a lot of wacky stuff to deal with. You know, that's a slowdown. Everything's crooked, everything's bowed, you're struggling. Plus, actually, one of the biggest struggles, this place is so small. There's 5 of us in here. We got sawhorses, we got new doors and windows, we got ladders, we got boards flying everywhere. This is a struggle. Plus, it's raining. That doesn't help.
Look, I'll go home if that helps.
I think we should all leave. Let's just
Let's
get
do
out of
that.
here. I'm ready to go. I'm kind of done.
See ya. I want to see Jamie's new Jeep motor,
Oh yeah.
so we're gonna do it.
This is how we drive it. He gets in, we just push him around the driveway.
This thing's silent. You'd think it was electric. Let's had more time with the hood up and down. Here, it folds all the way back to the window.
Oh yeah. Wow, look at that guy.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
So that there is a motor.
Yeah, look at that. It's all shiny under there, the frame and everything.
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 I spent a lot of time in there.
Wow.
That's not
So
new,
did
is
my
it?
mechanic friend. It needed a new TPS, which is a throttle position sensor.
Mm-hmm.
It couldn't tell where the throttle was.
Really?
Yeah, it kept dying out, stalling every
Yeah.
time, and I didn't have exhaust on it at all. I don't know if
Yeah.
you know how loud an engine is without exhaust at all.
Go to a
And I
NASCAR
was like
race.
I was at the crosswalks in town. Okay, there's lots of tourists, and the only way I could keep it from stalling was just keep revving it up. So there'd be like tons of like kids and families,
Yeah.
and I'm like right in front of them going. "Rrr, rrr." It sounded like a B-24 bomber, and I was just like, sorry.
That's some nice tires.
Yeah, I had to get new tires and wheel spacers. So these came off of a Jeep Cherokee.
Yeah.
And the offset was wrong, so I had to space it out about 1.25 inches.
Okay.
And
Is that about the factory?
no, it's out pretty significantly from factory. Factory would have been recessed by quite a bit. Terrible.
Yeah.
And then I put new leaf sprigs in to get the ride height back to original. But the front was still a little bit low, and I ended up having to put these slightly longer shackles here.
Okay.
To give a little tiny bit of lift in the front just to level out the
Okay,
body.
so
If
it's
you
just-
stick a Stabila on this thing,
So it's just level now.
it's level. Now there's more clearance in the back than in the front, but
Huh.
the body's level.
Okay. I have a feeling he's getting a level right now.
I just gotta prove it to you, I guess. I don't
Okay.
know. So if you set it across these bolts right there, oh, if anything, it's still a little high in the back.
Yep. She's pretty
But
level
you know,
though.
you put a little bit of a
You put a person in there.
something in there. Yeah, yeah.
Nice.